Bonjour, c'est Igon. Bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode de Divinity Original Sin 2. Donc, dans cet épisode, on va enfin, je pense, pouvoir quitter le bateau. Devant.
Pray to you for my seeker brethren. Show
the figurehead continues its vigil over the seas. The detail is remarkable. It looks like it could turn around and incinerate you at any moment.
Donc, on va chanter la fameuse chanson parce qu'apparemment c'est ça qui débloque le bateau.
The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new master? Ask. I am here to serve in all ways.
The creaking of the ship eases into a contemplative silence.
Once, I was an elf. I passed away and was reborn as an ancestor tree in a beautiful forest surrounded by kin of both flesh and root. But that time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were lost, like the leaves from my branches.
The sails overhead billow outwards suddenly. The sun is blocked, momentarily casting the dragon figurehead into shadow.
Magisters, they razed sacred elven lands and uprooted ancestor trees from the earth. I was one of them. They tore me apart and turned me into this monstrosity.
The creaking of the ship beneath you ceases, as if it were awaiting your decision with bated breath.
You are kind, but I can never be free again. Not truly. I am a vessel and must be guided. Let me take... The ship's awake. Good.
Our sacred ancestor trees, tended to the slaves of warmongers.
Is she ready to sail?
A slow, toothless smile stretches across her face.
To driftwood, then.
There is no time to spare.
Bien choisi vos compagnons de voyage, car c'est peut-être la dernière chance que vous aurez de modifier la position. Non, mais je garde. Non, je vais changer.
It most certainly is. Forward.
With the sun on their backs and the wind in their sails, the God-woken watched Fort Joy shrink behind them. But their capture of the Lady Vengeance had not gone unnoticed.
respect your mettle, Swordswords.
Ah, Dalis,
You steal my ship, kill my bishop and ally with demons, but you have no idea what you're really dealing with.
Donc elle est là, c'est elle. Ah oui, elle est niveau 13 quand même. Ça va être chaud, hein.
We are ready, mistress.
C'est elle. Non, là, ils sont tous les deux niveau 13. Les autres, ils sont niveau 8.
Yes, but are they?
I swear, mistress. I swear they'll perform admirably.
Very well. Goodbye. This is my ship. I won't see it taken from under my feet. You, act!
Yes, mistress.
Oh, for the love of the void. Listen up. We can't win this one, but I can get us to safety. You'll need to buy me time. Show us what you can do, Godwoken.
Godwoken? Parasites, rather.
I'll take care of it, mistress. Here, a gift. May you die in a great, beautiful blaze.
Je suis où, moi? Là, je suis là-haut. Obstacle idiot. Fan. Ils sont embrasés. Moi je vais détacher ce personnage, je pense pas. Après un tour.
Silenced.
Oh, I need more time.
You will not take me again, Dallas.
there, sorcerer. Taste some for yourself.
J'ai été vaincu. Non, il faut que je la protège en fait.
You sang the song. Now you must ask. I am here to serve in all ways.
The sails overhead.
Majesty, they tore me.
The creaking of the
Once that time has passed.
The creaking of the ship beneath you.
You are kind.
The ship's awake.
Sacred ancestor trees, tended to the slaves of warmongers.
Is she ready to sail? Dying to hear them.
Is awake. We have to make good on our escape.
Well, what have we
A slow.
to driftwood then? It most forward.
Quoi cette connerie là?
With the sun on their backs and the wind in their sails, the God-woken watched Fort Joy shrink behind them. But their capture of the Lady Vengeance had not gone unnoticed.
Non, faut que je mette là-haut. Là-haut. Quelqu'un qui protège. Je peux
I
sauvegarder là.
respect your metal.
We are...
Yes,
I swear...
very well. Goodbye. This is my ship. I won't see it taken from under my feet. You...
Ça va être chaud.
Oh, for the love of the... Listen up, show us what...
Godwoken.
I'll... Let's make that fire within you more than just a metaphor, shall we?
C'est à moi. Elle est bien là-haut. Plus de dégâts.
Get over here and stop these idiots before we all die.
Saleté de chien.
Defend me. Hold them off. I need more time.
You will not take me again.
gel là.
In my belly. Ready to burst.
Ah, il est pas mort.
Defend me or die.
Putain, quel chien ça.
Almost there. A little longer.
Meet your maker.
Damn, I'm good.
Ah, ça y est. Ouf.
With the help of the half-demon malady, the God-Woken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
Ouais, on a atterri où?
The air here has a familiar smell, like the place you grew up. Old memories begin to well within you, but the sweet sour smell of decay suddenly punctures them. A faint creaking sounds in the distance.
Is that a tree? What's hanging from it?
Must be a way across. Relic. Gods. Are they dead? How can this be?
Est-ce qu'on laisse le temps de lire? Les dieux maudits produits un ordre dans la âme. Si je les bénis, peut-être que cela me sera un peu de souffrance. Ah, mais je peux faire ça qu'une fois, je tente à la guerre. C'est un esprit. Des elfes, des lézards, des diablotins, des magiciens, des humains, des nains.
Rallic hangs limp from the tree, cursed branches constricting him, snake-like from foot to shoulders. His helmeted head hangs slack at his side, but a barely audible wheeze rasps.
Enfin. Hurry.
As the cursed branches slither away from Rallic, he raises his head. Green eyes glint with sudden fire from behind his helmet.
Are we the first? The others, do they hang still upon the tree?
He strains at the ethereal ropes that bind him, resisting their grip.
You must make haste. I am bound, but not defeated. Not yet. This is not the work of fate. It will come for our people. It will destroy us all. You are my chosen. Now you must become the champion of our kind. The champion of humanity. I have survived our enemies. You must do more than that. You cannot comprehend what it is, but you know full well what it wants. The void will not stop until it has devoured us all. It thinks it has defeated me, defeated all the gods, but it underestimates human might. Your might, Enfin Ben Mesd, Slayer of Black Ring, Silver Claw, Champion of Rallic.
His eyes flash bright green. He struggles.
You will show it. You! You have already unleashed some of the powers locked within you. But there is a great well of possibilities still untapped. You cannot stop until you ascend to the highest heights of your power. You cannot stop until you become divine. Like Lucian, you will be called to unite the powers of the Seven against the Void.
Unir le pouvoir
Like
des
Lucian,
sept.
you will lead our proud people to preeminence. But unlike Lucian, your weakness will not lead you to foolish failure.
He opens his mouth to respond, but stops and tilts his head. listening for something you cannot detect.
I hear the void. I hear it calling. I hear it laughing.
Ralik's face twists in fear. He opens his mouth as if to scream, but no white-hot cold pierces your heart like a blade. You are frozen to the spot. The burning cold pumps through you like a curse, and then...
What's happened here? Where is everyone?
The same troubled look is visible on each face. You've seen the gods beaten and defiled, strung up as a warning.
I had dreams of what I should say if I saw the Seven Lords once more. But that was a nightmare.
What can yet be blessed, can yet be restored. One way or another, divinity will survive. Through all of you, and all of me.
Gods, schmods. They aren't interested in me, and I'm not interested in them. It seems whatever's inside me is more powerful than any of them anyway. Or at least more cunning.
Prétentieuse. Ok. Petit enregistrement. Ça aussi.
This place is strange. I cannot bear you away from me. You must find other means so that we can leave. The one who brought us here. The demon that wears the face of my kin. Only she can set the course back to the land of the living. She is here still. I can... feel...
Je crois aller dans le bateau. Si on est là. Normalement, elle était là. C'est une vision spirituelle, ce que je vois. Les esprits. Elle, tranquille, elle se balade. Peut-être aller voir le... Soit qu'elle était tout seul dans le bureau, peut-être qu'elle lui ici.
Where is everybody?
Hidden away somewhere, safe from the storm, I hope.
C'est la seule qui reste. Aïe.
Not a soul down here.
Leaving Duggan back there feels wrong. He should be here.
Ah, d'accord, c'est tout ce que t'as à dire. Super, je vais aller loin avec ça. Descendre, c'était...
It was you, wasn't it? You who woke the ship.
Ils savent pas ce qui s'est passé au-dessus, d'accord. Il est plus là, le monsieur. Il était assis là.
For security reasons.
The Red Prince's spirit stands bewildered, his spectral eyes beleaguered by disbelief.
T'as pas de voix. Ils ont pas traduit ces... D'accord. Ok. Je descends.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up much longer. We need to go. There's no time. I can't hold us here. Brace yourself. This a lot.
The chill of the Hall of Echoes clung to the Lady Vengeance as it returned to the shores of Reaper's Coast. The Godwoken were alive, but what of the gods?
Bon, on a au moins 3 quarts d'heure pour faire tout ça quand même. Bon, déjà on a passé le niveau supérieur, il va falloir assigner des points. Donc déjà Dalis, niveau 13. Donc déjà il faut aller au moins niveau 13 pour la battre. Alors, ça donne quoi cette coupe de la
Solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight stings your eyes. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're still aboard the Lady Vengeance. A gust of fresh sea air caresses you, and warm...
Oh, one moment, please. Oh, just a moment.
Melody explodes in a fit of retching that racks her body. At last, she sneezes and expels a glob of something shiny and silver onto the deck. It wriggles quickly off the siding and plummets into the sea with a splash.
Ah, better. Let's not do that again anytime soon. Hmm? Oh, don't start. It was all I could do to save a few of them. It's no mean feat bringing an entire ship full of unspent souls to the Hall of Echoes, you know. I managed all the interesting ones, though. You're welcome.
Je me suis occupé des plus intéressantes.
I do hope you learned something useful on our little field trip.
Je veux dire que les affaires ne vont que... J'ai envie de... J'hésite entre ça et la première.
In one gesture, Melody rolls her eyes, darts forward, and sinks a fang into your ear for the second time.
Next time, I'll pick a spot you won't soon forget.
C'est dommage que ça on ne voit pas cette animation. Vous pouvez voir l'oreille.
She runs her tongue across her teeth, tasting your blood and your memories along.
So, your god seemed uncharacteristically frightened, then said the void was coming, and then you felt a cold deep within you. Well then, it sounds like you need to ascend, doesn't it? And quickly.
She inspects her fingernails with great attention, then looks up at you from under an...
Did they mention how you were meant to become the next divine? Oh, what confidence you inspire. Luckily for you, Mama Malady is here to help. We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can neither see source nor take it as you see fit. I may not know much about divinity, but I do know that any godwoken worth their salt will know how to perform all these oh so fantastic feats.
Bah oui, c'est clair. Je l'ai bloqué.
You need to go see the Meister.
Ah oui, c'est vrai, c'est là qu'elle nous a dit que d'aller voir.
Oh, she's got one of those things in Driftwood, you know, the building where people go and they do things inside of it. A home, that's it. She's got a home in Driftwood.
Faut des choses à l'intérieur.
Give me your map. There you are. Tell her I sent you and she'll handle the rest. You're at the beginning of a long journey, Godwoken. Long, but exceedingly interesting. Now, I must be going, and so must you. Before you go, if I'm not back by the time you find out where our journey takes us next, you can call me back here. Tell the ship. She'll know how to summon me.
Vous avez découvert de prochaines destinations d'ici. Ici, c'est vos navires.
And in the unlikely case you don't manage to do whatever it is you'll need to do to become what you need to become, you could call me, but I would be grateful if it doesn't come to that.
On a déjà le chevalier dragon qui peut nous aider. Donc, alors que je peux discuter.
It's rather impressive that a place named Reaper's Coast is even less cheerful than it sounds. Then again, I suppose desolate, boring, and covered in fish heads coast doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Se dire que côte désolée sans intérêt couverte de poissons morts, ça me semble pas terrible, ça c'est.
Still, here we are. I trust I needn't remind you about our agreement. Yes, yes. I may not have ears, but I was listening. Although, once you're done with your chores, we have important business at the Black Pits. It is vital that I gain access to that dig site.
Je ne sais pas que ça allait faire descendre l'estime de fan. Donc c'est pas grave, on sait où aller. passera vite fait les dialogues. C'est dommage qu'il n'y avait pas de...
She'll do it now. I will have my empire yet. People are going to perish. People are going to die, and I can't stop it. She'll do it now.
The Red Prince's spirit stands.
Defeat. I have impossible. No, I will. I will.
C'est bizarre, tout à l'heure, quand j'étais de l'autre côté, c'est la bug parce que ça n'a pas fonctionné. Alors là, et après, il est là. Normalement. Voilà. Je sais pas pourquoi ces réfugiés là.
Where have you been? I can't keep this up much longer. We need to go.
C'est qui est là? Tac.
Brace yourself. A lot.
Enregistré. Côte de la faucheuse. Donc on va partir maintenant flot de blois pour chercher cette mestre. C'est ça, je crois le titre. Toujours ces temps de changement. Est-ce que je peux enregistrer là?
Solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight as your eyes... Malady
Let's not do that again anytime soon. Very good. I'll feel far less put upon if you tell me you learned something useful on our little field trip. Desperate how? I see. So, your god seemed well then.
She inspects her.
Did they mention how you were meant to become the next well, luckily for you, Mama Malady. We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can need... I may not know much about divinity, but you need to go see the Meister. Oh, she's got one of those things in Driftwood, you know, the building where... Give me your map. You're at the beginning of a... Now, I must be going. And so must you. Before you go, and in...
It's rather impressive, but then again, still, here we are. Good. It is of the utmost importance that I reach the Black Pits and access the dig site there. Once that is understood...
Hey, before we dash off into the wild world yonder, I should mention, Malady and I had a talk on the way here. Oh, you know, this and that. And she mentioned that the thing in my head is probably a demon. Told me there's a fella not so far from where we're headed who might be able to help me with it too. I know, it's great, exciting, terrifying. A heady mixture of all three that makes my stomach feel like it's in a vice.
Donc, pour voir cette mestre, aller fan, inclus pour nos affaires.
I have to say, having you here makes it all seem possible. We'll be all right, Chief?
Dire la vérité, tout bien considéré, c'est fort peu probable. Tout allait bien.
Yeah, probably not. But we won't go down without a fight.
Go on then.
Ah oui, c'est vrai. J'ai 2 points, alors. Ça ne commence à vous affliger. Sûr d'avoir fait le bon choix. Que je voulais mettre en location. ciel. Qu'est-ce que je sais aussi? Encore, c'est ça, monstre. C'est vrai que le loup, je pense pas l'utiliser.
Hail, friend, and remember, in Lucian's love there can be no wrong. Paradise awaits, my friend. Not an actual paradise, of course. I don't think there's such a place in all of Rivellon. Paradise Downs. My parents still sow the soil there. And if the Order hadn't called me to its ranks, I'd still call their farm my home. I miss it. I miss them. They've been forever understanding of my duty. But I admit, I've been neglectful. I have some wrongs to right. You are either naive or ignorant, Godwoken. Lucian overcame the demon of lies to become our savior, our father of truth. Malice was not in his nature.
Gareth relaxes. Inhale, exhale. His voice.
It's only human to question. But you must also find your way back. Not just for you, but for everyone that relies on you. In those moments of doubt, I remember not what Lucian said, but what he did. When the Black Ring rose up, he stood for the defenseless. For all of us. For my mother. My father.
Gareth's nostalgia lasts for just a moment longer. He composes himself, clears his throat, and waits for your next.
Won't let you down.
Hello again. That's twice now, and I think it's time to start repaying the favours. I could fetch some stuff you need, maybe. Ma always said I was a great runner.
Qu'est-ce qu'il peut aller me chercher? On se liste là.
Sure thing.
Je sais pas ce que c'était, mais bon,
I've plenty of fighters for hire. Experts in blades, bows, and bewitchment. Oh, I see you have a full contingent.
D'accord, ça c'est fait. Ah, là il y a un point de... Tarka. Et il est où le point de... Ah, c'est ça.
Reaper's Coast lies nearby. You are ready to sail elsewhere. I shall bring you there. The wood of the sacred ancestor tree. I am so free when I was an ancestor tree.
Jadis. C'est vrai que je pensais utiliser lors des combats les tonneaux de pétrole.
You must be one of those uniquely gifted sorcerers I keep hearing about. Such illustrious company I find myself in.
He extends his hand to you. It's clad in a curious-looking metal gauntlet, the like...
I am Tarquin. Consider me at your service. That you're, how did Malady put it again? A god-woken. Yes, that's it. Quite...
Tarquin pauses, taking you in. Genial smile and calculating eyes.
Most people are too sentimental to admit that friendship is a transaction. I am not. I'm sure we can both be of use to each other. Marvelous. Great things abound in our future, I'm sure. Why, it was your ally, Malady, who spared me. She claimed that I might be of some use yet. Rather flattering to enjoy the favor of such a powerful being.
Redonne vie à un établissement capable de gérer les cadavres, gagner de la vitalité. De 1, ce qui... Ça va être bien pour... Si quelqu'un est presque temps de récupération, c'est nickel. L'intelligence élevée permet de monter sa puissance. Je pense à monter ma en intelligence. Ça pourrait être bien comme des bœufs, ça. Bœuf. Un allié qui prête pas mal la mort, la rigueur. Réfaction, je l'ai pas déjà ça. Un cadavre dans la zone où ça peut être utile à un moment ou à un autre. Là c'est moi. On dit mon cher super. Créer un nuage de fumée maudite dans la zone d'effet, ce qui empêche sur occasion. Ah ça va être bien dans le futur proche, je vais le prendre ça. Plus de sang. Éteins les surfaces de feu. Ça bien pour orage de guerre. Couture arcanique. C'est 1400. On va attendre un peu. Ah là, c'est la différence, c'est que ça va mettre de texte. Je peux faire en arme. Ce qui est chiant, c'est que ça m'enlève mes bonus si je prends ça. Ça m'enlève un en dex, un en chasseur. Intéressant. Ça c'est mieux, c'est plus équilibré. C'est chiant. Ça c'est pas furtivité, c'est plus pour civils. Ah, ça par contre, 1 plus 1 perception, 1 télékinésie. Mais côté méditation. Épique. Peut-être qu'on va attendre de se faire un peu plus d'argent. Alors c'est bien. C'était quoi qui furtivité. Ah mince, c'est où? Ah oui, c'était déco. Là on adresse. Ça va être utile ça. Voler. Ah, c'était ça. C'est ça. Et chanter. C'est plus que 800. Ah, c'est quand je vois j'enlève les runes. L'intérieur de 15 moitié pareil. Bon, c'est pas très palpitant ce que je fais, mais bien sur le français, de toute façon je me 18. Ça a un peu d'argent. Ça fait épique. C'est un chantier. Furtivité, ça serait possible ça. Furtivité. 600 aussi. Trop d'argent. Je remonte pas le temps. J'ai rien à... J'ai plus qu'à manger. Ça, je peux utiliser. C'est parti. J'ai appris, j'ai pas de message. J'espère que c'est possible. Ah, ça a changé, ça a été corrigé ça. Stocké. Sur des Je peux stocker. Qu'est-ce que je peux stocker dans tout ça? Des clous.
You honor me with your repeated presence. Something on your mind?
Bon, allez, cette fois on y va. Pas de dialogue. Comment ça se fait que j'ai pas de dialogue? Bizarre ça. Des bugs. Hein. Voilà. Maison du maître déjà. On sait par où il faut se diriger. Force noire. Là c'est plus fan. Charade. Avec le maître de... Débarque, c'est déjà empoisonné. Stop. Vu que c'est empoisonné.
A winged stone figure reaches to the heavens, a majestic sight among the leaves and branches. You feel weightless, as if lifted by a silent wind. For just a moment, your mind is free of wonder and worry.
C'est juste pour ça.
winged stone figure. Your body is
sais pas où. Dans une nouvelle ville. On va arriver tout ça en même temps.
A dying shark lies gasping on the sand, bleeding from the mouth and gills. It turns its dark and soulless eyes to you. Its bloody gills, it gasps in the air, struggling for the breath to speak. Its own blood froths at it.
No! Die here! Monsters in the water! Monsters in the deep!
It looks at you with its cold flat eyes, as if to say, "What are you waiting for?" Then it
Bon, il se passe de rien très passionnant, c'est plus beaucoup d'exploration. Hein. Ouais. Meuillette à 4. Je sais à quel niveau là cette bestiole. Ils sont... D'accord. Il y a une bestiole de l'autre côté. Voilà. Il y a une bestiole. Là, il y a la 4. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire?
That Void Woken had someone in its claws.
Quel niveau? 9.
I will yield to none.
Non, ils sont déjà morts. Je crois pas.
A Magister caravan. I remember one just like this picking me up. Could have been a shipment to Fort Joy. But what happened here?
Can't be real. Not real. Not happening.
Sauf elle.
No.
Là, c'est pour aller en ville. Et je sais plus où il y avait un monstre. C'est tout noir. Est-ce que j'ai besoin de succès?
No, no, no!
Salut Maxence, bienvenue.
Can't be real. Not real. Not happening.
White as driftwood salt, the dwarf flinches at your approach, yet she holds a short, clean blade aloft. Her fierce stance can't hide the trembling of her fingers.
Back! Back! Magister, I'll kill you, just like the rest of them!
She slumps, all bravado draining from her.
No. I've never seen anything like those beasts before. Are they gone?
Ils sont partis, mais dire qu'on a
Those? Yes. Worst ones I've ever seen. Ripped through the Magisters. The dwarves. Dead. 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 And the sorcerers. Sorcerers.
Her eyes stare vacantly into the distance, glassy as marbles.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Duna's beard. Lohar. My boss Lohar will want to know what happened to them, but I can't remember her helping sorcerers. We thought we could help them against the Magisters, but... No. No, I don't know. I don't know.
She flinches at the slightest rub.
Yes, well, shit. Shit. C'est pas marqué. C'est pas traduire.
You stride past the chained sorcerers and climb onto the caravan without complaint. As you settle onto the bench, you offer Ralik's blessings to the Magister Guard. He offers only a bleary-eyed stare of disinterest in return before shoving the chained sorcerers aboard. As you watch them cower, you cannot help but feel annoyance. After all, don't they know they're going to be Eloisa was the prettiest girl, not to others, but to you. Her luminous eyes shone brighter than the moon. The day you collared her for Fort Joy, you wept every tear you had. You never cried again.
Ça c'est fait. Commencer.
Work, work, work. That's all there was in Driftwood for a dwarf like you, until you got involved in the anti-magister. A boy at swim. Your name is Joe. You're 9. You're brave. You're off to see your mum. A shadow moves below you.
Spécial. C'est comme ça.
Good find.
From the dark, you stare up at the thin slivers of light visible between the floorboards. Shadows ripple across the slivers, accompanied by heavy footsteps, Magister footsteps. Wood creaks above your head. One of them has paused. You hear only one gruffly barked. You remember a cold childhood in a no-hope fish. You twist your head around as the Magisters haul you away. Your wife and 2 boys stand in the doorway, helpless. You commit their faces to memory one last time. Wendy cries out something to you. You tell yourself it was, I love... Warm red wine flows down your throat.
Musique.
Come on, come on! Looky here, Bugs.
Le charbon était baissé au milieu élevé.
Ma, can you hear me? Ma!
The little boy lobs a stone across the river. It makes a long arc before plunging into the water below.
Oh, Ma! Are you alright? Huh? Please, you have to help her. There was a fight. Some dwarves attacked some magisters and there were sorcerers too. And then the bugs came. They killed everyone. And my mom got them to chase her. And she went across the bridge. And then she raised the bridge and she told me to run. And now she's stuck not without Ma. Family doesn't just leave each other. If those things get to Ma, they can get to me too. Are you going to help me? Maybe you can cross the river then. Ma lifted the bridge, but there's got to be another way, right? What should I do?
His gaze shoots to the ground.
I'll keep distracting him. No way. Ma didn't...
He performs a divine...
Now go out.
Merci d'être passé 5 minutes, Maxence. Merci. Au revoir. Bonne soirée. Oula, cette bestiole là. Niveau 9. On trouve un moyen de passer. Ah, donc, vous voulez voir l'auteur sans doute pour clôturer cette quête. Ah, cette quête. Réfléchir. D'accord. Ça, oui, je l'ai fait. Allez, d'abord justement un flot de bois.
A scruffy kid bounds up and stands before you, hands on hips. He stares at your face.
You Ben Mez? Yep, that's just what he said you'd say, Enfin. Righto, got a message for you. Chap called Baron Laveri wants to see you. Black Bull Tavern, first floor.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, whistling an off-key.
D'accord, ça doit être un de mes potes. Enfin, la confrérie. C'est bon, qu'est-ce que je peux... Cote. Ajuster fait des... Ah, ok, une autre ville par ici aussi. Ok, là. Ok. Là, parce qu'il y a aussi un magistère. Allez, magistère. Comment pour rentrer dans la ville?
You ever think about running off, like Barmby and Sam did?
Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence and does a double-take. He squints and peers at...
Oh, Aldous! He's a spitting image of that sorcerer fellow, ain't he?
Thought you were someone else for a second there, lad. Someone with no business in Driftwood. But enough of all that. What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if it...
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers...
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back. And as long as there's no sorcerers, there's no Voidwoken. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
tableau de mon... Ça ne marche pas. Mettre un marqueur. C'est pas ce que je disais. Activer. Ça fait.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll remember me.
Go in there, mister. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked her house up for her.
Vous ne pouvez pas rentrer, monsieur. Le Magister est parti.
They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for God people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me, but then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. The door has been sealed shut. The Magisters have nailed a notice to the door. The notice reads, "Warning, do not enter, crime scene." Meister Siva has been accused of conspiracy, murder and high treason. She shall hang by the hands at the farmlands gallows until trial.
Ah d'accord, ok. Elle restera pendue par les mains au gibet des terres arabes.
Anyone found trespassing on these premises before her trial concludes shall be charged as an accomplice and will share her fate. You notice that the message is signed Magister Raymond in the name of Dallas Most Holy.
Hey, wanna play? Oh.
À la maison. On a une autre entrée. Une autre entrée. Elle est pendue par les mains quelque part.
I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
As the Magister's eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically bulging out of their sockets. One tremulous finger.
Enfin Ben Mez does our live and breathe. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
One eye squints, the other bulges out even further.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you.
The Magister looks at you again. A shake of her head and a flick of her wrist.
On your way. Sorry for...
On a eu chaud. J'ai un masque, hein. Je sais pas comment elle a fait pour me reconnaître.
Hear ye! Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
The path thus ended, the conclusion of a noble bloodline.
Eh ben, je crois qu'il y a vachement de monde.
Right about me. I'm just another useless elf.
Eh ben, on va laisser ça pour la prochaine fois. C'est un festin magistère.
Get her, Dallas. Get that sorcerer.
Come on, damn you. Think.
Ah, ça sera pour quitter. Non. Je regarde. Qui sont ça va être chaud. Il va falloir éviter les magistères. Eh ben, je vais remercier aux personnes qui ont regardé en direct. Et ceux qui vont regarder en replay, n'hésitez pas à laisser un like pour faire monter la chaîne et un commentaire si vous avez aimé. N'hésitez pas non plus à vous abonner pour être prévenu des prochains live et vidéos mises en ligne. Et je vous dis à bientôt. Merci d'avoir suivi cette vidéo. Au revoir et à bientôt.